Why is Donald Trump continuing to hide his medical records? Well, let's answer that question in a moment. We will start with Kamala Harris doing what every major presidential candidate does. She has released her medical records, and she seems basically to be a very healthy 59, 60-year-old. The New York Times reports, daring Trump, Harris's campaign releases medical information. Vice President Kamala Harris released a letter from her doctor saying that she's in excellent health as her campaign tries to capitalize on the lack of health information shared by her rival. Harris has seasonal allergies. She's mildly nearsighted and has skin hives that she treats with over-the-counter and prescription medication. This is according to Joshua Simmons, the physician to the vice president. Of course, there is a political aspect to this. Your White House doctor, when you're running, is generally going to say you're fine, but the devil is in the details. She has not had diabetes. She has not had high cholesterol, heart disease, cancer, osteoporosis, or neurological disorders. The Washington Post also reporting that part of Kamala Harris's medical records release is to create a contrast with Donald Trump. Her doctor said that she, quote, possesses the physical and mental resiliency required to successfully execute the duties of the presidency. Now, Kamala Harris is also going directly after Trump, saying, I've released my stuff. Why won't he release his? And we're going to look at a couple of clips of that. I do think it's relevant to mention that forget about seeing Trump's full medical records. We haven't even seen Donald Trump's specific medical record from when he was, quote, shot in the ear. We still haven't seen that. We heard from Doc Ronnie his opinion of Trump's cut when he went up to dress it in a hotel room before the RNC. That's all we've gotten. So there is a very notable lack of transparency here. Here is Kamala Harris saying, I've released mine. Why won't he show us his?
So today I released my medical records, as has, I believe, every candidate for president of the United States except Donald Trump in this election cycle. And it's just a further example of his lack of transparency, that on top of his unwillingness to debate again, his unwillingness to do an interview with 60 Minutes, which again is part of the norm of what anyone running for president of the United States does. And I think that it's obvious that his team, at least, does not want the American people to see everything about who he is. And you put that on top of even the most recent reports of General Milley, one of the people who worked the closest with Donald Trump, referring to him as being unstable. And it is clear to me that he and his team do not want the American people to really see what it is that he is doing and whether or not he actually is fit to do the job of being president of the United States.
I think that this is a smart gambit, but I don't think it's going to make a whole hell of a lot of difference. And of course, Kamala Harris is completely correct. Trump said back in 2015, oh, yeah, I'll show you my taxes if, when, and then all of these different things happen. He never did. Through various leaks and disclosures, we got some of Donald Trump's taxes, but he's still not done it. And of course, with the medical record, it's very much the same thing. We know from looking at Trump that he's obese. We know that he has skin issues. I believe that there were some disclosures years ago about, I thought maybe cholesterol, but that's easily medicated. But this is a much older Trump, and we don't have his medical record. And Kamala Harris continuing to harp on this, including during an interview.
Let's fast forward to right now. His staff won't let him do a 60 Minutes interview. Every president for the last half century has done one, anyone who's running for president. Everyone has done it, except Donald Trump. He will not debate me again. I put out my medical records. He won't put out his medical records. And you have to ask, why is his staff doing that? And it may be because they think he's just not ready and unfit and unstable and should not have that level of transparency for the American people. There's a real choice in this election.
Yeah, this is a stark contrast that is now in very noticeable relief. Trump stood around while music played 39 minutes at a town hall event yesterday rather than take questions. He looked disoriented and confused. Kamala Harris seems completely with it, with a level of energy we've not seen from Trump, even when we suspected he was on uppers for a very long time. There is no coincidence here. If the Trump campaign believed that publishing his medical record would help, they would do it because their interest is whatever is best for Trump and whatever is going to get him elected. So this is not about Hillary Parkinson's conspiracy theories. It's Trump doesn't look healthy. He doesn't sound healthy. He's clearly deteriorated from where he was 9 years ago. And if there was a great, clean medical record to be released, they would do it. Now, many of you might come back and say, David, why don't they just release a bogus medical record that says that he's super healthy? You could fake a medical record, but you have to understand that a medical record is very different than just a letter from Doc Ronnie or whoever. You can put together a letter saying, I've examined the former president and he's great, he's energetic, he's on the campaign trail, and he's fit to serve. The medical record, which would include routine lab work of all different kinds, any testing that Trump has undergone, if there are concerning aspects to that, you now have to doctor and manipulate every single one of those things. And I don't know that they would be unwilling to do it, but it's certainly much more involved than simply write a letter and say that he looks and sounds great and everything's good. So more lack of transparency from Trump, nicely done by Kamala Harris. I don't think in the end it's going to make a huge difference. I want to tell you about an important part of my morning routine, AG1, one of our sponsors. Before I have my cappuccino, I put just 1 scoop of AG1 in a glass of water. Every morning, I get my vitamins, my minerals, my pre and probiotics, and more, just filling the nutritional gaps, supporting my gut. AG1 contains prebiotics, probiotics, and gut-supporting ingredients just to support digestion, reduce bloating. In a recent research study, AG1 was shown to double the healthy bacteria in the gut. These healthy bacteria work together, break down food, and alleviate bloating, promote digestive regularity, aid in digestive comfort long term. AG1 is made with bioavailable ingredients that work with your body. And what good is a supplement if your body can't absorb and use it? AG1's powder form makes it easy for your body to digest and access the nutrient-dense ingredients in the formula. AG1 is giving you a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3K2 plus 5 free AG1 travel packs with your first subscription order at drinkag1.com/Pacman. The link is in the description.